What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media, bringing you Ravens content every single day. The Baltimore Ravens are on the clock with their fifth round pick, so this is going to be my live reaction to it. Let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts on who the Ravens select, who you think they should have picked, and also who you think in the next pick the Ravens should be drafting. I think I'm going to be able to get all of the day 3 picks done live, but if I do miss the end of the 7th round, I may have to do my live reaction tomorrow. If I'm gone, I will be having my phone on airplane mode, so I won't know exactly who they do end up selecting. Also, either tomorrow or Monday, it'll probably be Monday, I will be posting the Ravens undrafted free agent tracker video where I analyze all the players that the Ravens signed. Those videos, a lot of people typically like them, so let me know in the comment section down below if you want me to do that. But when I'm looking at the Ravens and who I think they could go after, I think there's good wide receivers available still. I talked about it. I think the Ravens are in a spot where they're going to be doubling up. Or the other positions, if it's not a double up, offensive guard, I believe Christian Mahogany is still available. I will double check that. Yes, Christian Mahogany out of Boston College is still available. I really liked his game, as well as Dylan McMahon. And then safety, I like Killen Oladapo out of Oregon State. And then potentially, if they go linebacker, Curtis Jacobs out of Penn State would be a decent option. But, if I'm looking at doubling up, I think Brendan Rice would probably be the best option there at wide receiver. And a lot of people may be like, wait a minute, we already drafted a wide receiver in Devontae Walker. Why should we go after another wide receiver? And I want to point to what the Ravens have done recently when they're drafting non-day one guys, right? We go Devin Duvernay and then we go James Prochet. The Ravens like to get multiple wide receivers in the draft typically, and so if they're here and a guy like Brendan Rice, who maybe they have valued very highly, is available, snagging him will not be a bad thing, right? The Ravens don't have any spots available outside of maybe guard. Probably not even guard. I don't think a guard in the 5th round is going to start right away. So why would they, force themselves into something where they could create competition in a wide receiver room where they will at least get snaps? And next year, the year after that, potentially blossom into, star or, starting wide receivers. So Jalen Simpson did just go to Indianapolis Colts. Kind of happy about that. I'm not a huge Jalen Simpson fan. So if the Ravens do go safety, I think Oladapo would definitely be the pick. I don't necessarily think they will go safety. I think they'll wait until round 6, round 7, kind of like what they did when they drafted Geno Stone. They're pretty good at drafting safeties late or really, really early, like they did with Kyle Hamilton. But the Ravens pick looks like it's in now, so just waiting on them to make that announcement. Super excited to see who they take. Again, if they go wide receiver, I'm going to be happy. If they go pass rusher, there's definitely a fair amount of pass rushers available. I know Tavius Robinson's, I think he was a teammate at Ole Miss. I think he's been a starter there for the last 3 years. And then like Javon Solomon out of Troy, I'm a big fan of, so we'll see what they end up doing with that. But so far in this Ravens draft, right, they've gone best player available. Really, they've gone best player available every single round. Grabbing, corner was their best player available, or at least best defensive player available. They drafted. Then they went best offensive lineman available. Then they went with best wide receiver available. I'm sorry, best edge rusher available, who was probably the best player on the board, I would say, in Adisa Isaac. And then best wide receiver available, clearly, in Devontae Walker. And then best player available again with TJ Tampa. So definitely a good track record so far in best player available. And if I'm looking at the best players right now, I'm probably going with Brendan Rice, or one of the offensive linemen would probably be the best players available. And then the last guy I think would probably be the linebacker out of Penn State. I think his name is Curtis Jacobs. Curtis Jacobs, yes, that's the name. Just wanted to double check that. But, of course, once again, like every single time, right when the Ravens pick is in, they end up going to commercial. And it was just announced the Baltimore Ravens have drafted running back Rasheen Ali out of Marshall. This is not a pick that surprises me whatsoever. I did not think they would go running back this early, but they did bring Rasheen Ali, I think in a 30 one of the top 30 visits. They were a big fan of him the entire draft process. And that's something that I think the Ravens wanted to go out and get their guy, because the running backs, there was a run of running backs really over the course of the third and fourth round. Guys just kept flying off the board. I think the Ravens got a little bit worried that they weren't going to be able to get their guy, who Rasheen Ali has really been their guy the entire offseason. And so it makes sense that they wanted to make sure that they got the player that they wanted the most. And with Keaton Mitchell's injury, having a backup running back to Derrick Henry, really all we have is Justice Hill. And Justice Hill obviously is a very good player, but Rasheen Ali did not work out at the combine. But I mean, I watched a little bit of him. I didn't watch a ton of Rasheen Ali. I expected him to maybe be an undrafted player, or again, end of day 3. But the Ravens knew that they wanted him, and they decided to go out and get him. So I think this is a solid pick. Again, it's not a double up, and this is actually a guy, I wasn't even thinking about it, but like the Ravens could definitely use a running back. Like, he'll get carries this year. And he will be the backup running back or third string running back, which we use a lot of running backs. And I believe he can catch the ball a fair bit. So I think that's all the Ravens are looking for. Versatile running back, can make explosive plays, can catch the ball, can run between the tackles, and can be a complement to what Derrick Henry brings to the table. Let me know in the comments section down below what your guys' thoughts are on Rasheen Ali. Were you aware of how much the Ravens have been following him? Because right when I saw that name pop up, and I was like, oh, that makes complete sense, because the Ravens were clearly big fans of Rasheen Ali. Thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe for more. I'll see you all again with the next pick, and let me know who you think the Ravens going with next.